Well, hello.
Are you saying hi to me, or are you saying hi to our viewers?
Yeah, hi to you as well. Thanks for being part of the live show tonight. We've got some things to talk about, what we're dealing with here in just a little bit. Some interesting things. Hopefully, we are trying to program. This is StreamYard, so you do see their logo up in the front. So let us know if the audio is good. Let us know if everything like that's working out for you, because this is different. This is new for us, and we're still learning how to do this. And so just let us know what you think about how the format is and all that. And then you can actually show your comments now. So if you leave us a comment, let us know you're here. I can throw it up on the screen. Saltwater Born, thanks for joining us.
That's kind of cool. So if I make a comment, well, I say hey there and howdy.
Yeah, and then there's Stanley Richards with us tonight. So Stanley, thanks for joining us. And also Ben.
And so then can I see it?
Since audio is just a hair distant, but all in all, it's looking and sounding good. Excellent. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I am talking a little softer because I wasn't sure how it would actually sound. Because for one thing, and maybe if you've used StreamYard before, you can let me know this. I can't seem to figure out how to have an audio level so I can see how much input's going on there. Like I use OBS, and OBS tells me the levels, but this one doesn't actually tell me the levels. So I'm still working on it, but we'll figure it out.
Can you increase your volume?
I probably can. It's probably somewhere in there. I just haven't. It's new. It's new for me, and I'm learning. So anyway. Love the shirts. Yeah, actually, thanks for that, Saltwater Born. We do wear your shirts as well, but we got these made. And these you can buy them in our store. And actually, in our store, Karis is giving me, what?
Karis is giving us a sideways thumb.
What's that mean? Medium.
You can't hear it good?
Let me see if I can boost the audio.
That's our daughter.
Yes.
And she's supposed to be giving us
just automatically adjust my volume. That might be it. Let me just juice it just a little bit. Let's see if that does it any better. Let's see if that does any better. Ben, I don't know about. I'm getting off track. In our store, if you're on YouTube, in our store, we have our popping corks now for sale. I make them myself here. I got 3D printing. I've been printing them and making them. So those are for sale. Fishing rig holders are also for sale. We do have shirts and hats as well. So check all that stuff out. And if you want to help support the channel and our fishing.
Oh yeah, you're wearing your hat too.
Yeah, I got my hat.
I like the whole black and white, but that's just
so.
He's wearing one in color.
Ben, I don't know if the answer to that, if I can use OBS to mix my feed and then type a StreamYard. This is all new to me. I'm experimenting. So we want to make it the best experience we possibly can for everybody. And so that's part of what I'm trying to do, is trying to expand, do more things, and do some cool things. Trying to get the best experience, provide the most value we possibly can with the channel.
So if they want to see a comment, you can click on it. Love the shirts, you can click on it. Everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So everybody sees that.
Yeah, it's right up on there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So having said that, we this last week we did go fishing, and it was terrible. Very rarely do I get skunked. Very rarely.
Well, I mean,
but we did.
You didn't get skunked. I mean, technically, we caught, a live well full of croaker.
Yeah, I caught a croaker. Yeah.
But the weather, we were too nervous to stay out because
they said that the area where we were at was supposed to be flat.
It's supposed to be, and I think everybody got tricked because we were watching pictures of, Corpus Christi Bay looking like, the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. So that tropical storm, or it was a tropical storm. I think they upgraded it to a tropical storm, but that went through, pushed all the water. There was a lot of flooding.
We were supposed to be okay, but we go out and it was like 3 foot waves, and they were starting to come into the boat.
Yeah, I took a couple of the nose on my boat, and I was like, okay, that's not cool. I don't like this. So anyway, Stanley says you have perfect time. Finally got to bust out the We Go Fishing Courts this weekend and filmed it. Oh man, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to watch that video. I know they work because I've caught fish with them. They do work. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to that because that's going to be.
I mean, I caught a lot of croaker.
Yeah, we're definitely catching that. So.
It's attracting the fish, but we just couldn't. We really couldn't.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that video. And actually, if you didn't, Stanley just put out a video. I think it was either yesterday or today. I just caught it today on making salsa right on this bar.
Oh,
so that's cool. Yeah. Anyway. So we did go fishing, didn't have a great time. If you had a great weekend fishing, let us know about that in the comments because we'd love to hear better stories than we had.
I was thinking that everybody across had a bad time.
It was rough.
With the storm surge between that and then causing winds, and it was just difficult.
But since Tony and I were in Corpus and Port A, and the water was ugly, saw no one catching it. It was like that. It was one of those things like we just got surprised by conditions. Conditions supposed to be different, and they just weren't. So I don't know why.
Was angry.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, if you saw the thumbnail, a little teaser there in the thumbnail. If you've ever had a favorite fishing spot, a spot that you just say, this is something I really like. Maybe it's maybe it's like kind of like on the borderline of am I allowed to be there, am I not allowed to be there kind of thing, but it's like a private little pond or you've got the spot mapped out. And the thing that ruins fishing spots the most is other anglers because they don't come up. For some reason, people cannot figure out how to throw beer cans away. They leave their trash everywhere. And because of that, we lose access to fishing spots. So that's what we're talking about tonight. So if you've ever had that background music a little loud. So you know what he says. Audio is off. Sounds watery. Background music is low. Okay, I can definitely handle the background music. I can definitely handle that. As for the audio, I will work on that. I'm sorry about that. It could be the way that the mic is or how far we are away from it. But I'll work on that. This is Beach Bum. Hey, yeah. Thanks for stopping in. And if you want to check out some fishing reports for him, he does all kinds of fishing reports as well. So, and Grant McIntosh is here as well. So we got a full house tonight. Everybody's in. So. All right. So that's the biggest. That's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to pull up this article here, and hopefully this will work here, and pull this up.
It's interesting you're talking about this because. Even though I didn't know until today that we were going to talk about this.
Okay.
When we growing up in Texas, our favorite spots to fish were when we would go down to Pottery Island.
Yeah.
And when we went there recently, just a couple years ago, I thought, I'm going to go hit those spots that we did as a kid. And every single one of them said no fishing now. Like 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't believe it. And I started fishing anyway.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the game warden showed up and shooed me away. They didn't give me a ticket, but I just thought, I always fished here.
This is the fishing article. We'll talk about some outdoor life, and if you're sensitive to language, sorry about that. I'm not going to quote it here, but I did think the sign that somebody put up was really funny. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, the American West. He's talking about different. This is not just one spot. He's talking about different spots along the thing. So some of this may be applicable to us, some of it may not be. But it says the American West has a long history of water access rights issues. Books have been written on the subject and feature films have been shot. Outdoor Life has published several feature stories on the issue, and most recently, landowners on Utah's Lower Provo River are trying to block access to the water because they say anglers are trespassing on their property while standing in the river and casting. You don't own the water. That's what we always tell people, right? You don't own the water. This, per the article, the landowners are technically correct because a 2010 statute says anglers can float down the Lower Provo but cannot touch land or riverbed. In other words, the state Supreme Court ruled that the landowners own the land but not the water, which that's pretty typical. Like if you have a dock or something, you don't own that. You don't own the water. This most recent example of Western water wars, in so many cases, there are a lot of gray areas, multiple sides of every fight. In the East Coast where I live, and it's not immune to the battles as well. I'm going to skip some of this. I don't think it's really all that important, but he gets down to here. He says, I could easily round off half a dozen places that are fishing in New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania, since I was a kid that are simply gone. And that's what you were talking about.
Mhm.
And maybe you've had this experience where, the place you fish and then all of a sudden it's gone because, well, this is what happens. It says, well, there still exists, but I can't go there anymore.
Mhm.
The author writes, and neither can you. Most recently, concrete barricades have appeared surrounding a little parking lot with a dirt ramp for kayak access along Delaware River. I've been parking away in that spot since I was 6 years old. For 33 years, it remained unchanged, and poof, access gone.
Mhm.
It's the untrained eye, the access point in the public, but that had never been the case. It was owned by a water treatment plant that let people use it, but then this is what happened, and this is the highlight part, and this is the part that I want to draw attention to, because I think it's important. And then about 5 years ago, garbage began piling up every weekend. Hordes of people would clog the roads, no room for a few cars in the dirt lot, and that's what happened. They got ruined. Let me catch up some of these comments over here. Stanley says, yep, I'll be honest, I rarely visit my favorite spots and will leave to see people coming and not flint it. Yeah, that's part of it too. No way, I can't fish my hometown lake flooded. Yeah, a lot of people go for that. Fully closed area park, and then the one I go to when they're supposed to be open up for the weekend doesn't sound like great weather.
I think you might have missed Ben.
So I missed that. Oh yeah, going back up here, some fences placed out Packer Town now blocked. There you go. Same thing, Packer Channel blocked because people can't take responsibility for the garbage. And that is, in essence, what this is talking about. And I know that Texas Beach Bum does this when he goes out and picks up trash a lot. He does that, and people should be doing that. But at the same time, a lot of the spots that we take for granted are getting completely jumped up.
We were going out to that one time when we were going to Padre Island Jetties, we kind of pulled off the side and parked. And then there were just piles of trash. And I'm like,
yeah,
what are they doing?
It's absolutely.
Because if they don't pick this up, this could go into the ocean. Even worse. I mean, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And then the author continues to write, another local spot on private property cut right to the chase of their sign went up in 2015, no fishing outside in bold red letters below that you people
keep it
clean. Yeah. And that's the bottom line. And what I want to know is, what can we as conservation-minded and responsible anglers, what can we do about it? What pressure can we put on other people to say, hey, keep this stuff clean? We don't want to lose access to fishing spots. We don't want to lose access to the water. And
I mean,
what can we do?
I don't know. If you and I are fishing and a guy next to us drinks a beer and then throws it out into the water, should we say something?
I don't know.
I mean, I would want to.
You probably want to.
But like if I was by myself, I don't want to get into a fight. But then again, there's no littering in Texas. You're not supposed to.
No, it is.
So
I think it's a misdemeanor.
It's a something, but
the thing I'm about, not only does it junk up the environment, not only do you have environmental impacts for that location, but then animals get into it. And you always hear about the birds that get the hand holders stuck on them, like sea turtles, whatever it be. And so there's a whole bunch of reasons beyond just for junking up the environment. There's also other ecological impacts.
What if anglers who love their spot can get a once a month cleanup together?
Just a cleanup, yeah.
Like a cleanup day, and so that
Maybe that's
positive anglers are going and cleaning it up.
Maybe it's got to be more proactive with it and just say, hey, look, we've got to do something about this. We are going to lose. When we were in Aransas Pass, any bridge, you go to any bridge that you can fish under, and there's trash everywhere. So going back to the article, he says in the Daily Mail article, Utah landowner Steve Holt notes that no trespassing signs he posts his property are routinely torn down. He commonly finds trash along the river. His solution to this, he says, is not barring anglers from fishing his property, but by charging them to access the river through his land. So he's trying to do it that way. And he says, before you judge them for the money grab, think about what you do for the money. Could go back to the place you also here. I know, would you do it? If they close down, I mean, I'm just talking about a place in the Packer. If they charged for access to those places, would you
cut out the riffraff, or would they just use it to clean it up? Somebody to clean it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we definitely have a boat ramp that people charge $5 to let you launch, and
Mhm.
it's a very nice spot to launch. But because it's not taken well care of, we haven't been paying the $5 or whatever. But if he could use that money that everybody's paying to actually fix up
Mhm.
the boat launch, make it look nice, I think I'd pay $10 to launch.
Yeah.
Pay double than that if we could just clean up the trash around it,
Well,
make it look
and that's one of
nice.
the things.
So I'm sure you can charge if you're taking care of them.
That's one of the things that they're going to ask too. Is if I could purchase a yearly permit to access that dirt ramp on the Delaware One that I use hundreds of times a year to pull off my drift boat, I gladly look over the cash, assuming it's a reasonable fee. This is sadly more common in fishing because too many anglers are taking the non-public access points that they're taken for granted. Some actively own them and can do anything they want with them. When access is shut down, they're wildly upset. Yeah. Let's catch up some of these comments over here. No way. Since I pick up trash, if I fish from land, I'm bored while bait is out there. It's the same stuff here. Modelo, Corona, plastic drink bottles, lakes foul in the country, not a problem there. Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm like, how hard is it to pack out the trash? I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's just
put it back in the box you came with.
Ben said a tangent complaint surfers should ignore the distance guidelines on jetties and piers. I laugh out loud when these folks are clothesline themselves in the fishing line. Yeah, that's part of it too. I mean, yeah, you'll be right, especially down in Corpus. You're right on the pier, and the surfers are surfing right into the pier, and it's always been this battle back and forth as to who has the right of access there. But the pier is there, so don't surf next to the pier.
The pier is meant for fishing.
Yeah.
But I know the waves come in heavier next to there. So,
yeah.
Surf at your own risk.
Stanley Richard says we do similar, always leave with more than we brought. And I think that's probably the best approach we can possibly do. I don't know that, I'm not for rules, legislation, stuff like that. If I owned the land, I was letting people use it, I probably would end up charging to kind of keep out a certain amount of people. Even on piers, a lot of times they do charge for access to the piers. So, but I think that's part of it too, is we got to be proactive about this. If we see trash, bring a trash bag with you and just pick it up. Bring gloves and stuff and just pick it up. And that way, maybe we encourage it. Maybe if people see us doing it and we're all doing it, and it becomes kind of like a routine. Anglers pick up their stuff. They don't leave it laying because we care about the environment. Maybe that would be the way to do it. And maybe that social pressure can be brought to bear on that. He says, I'm going on the article. It's got a nice little flush on the bus there. He says, sometimes misuse of public access can ruin a fishing spot, even when that spot remains public. I grew up fishing a little bass pond close to home as well as a larger lake, and both were on county land. Both were historically chock full of big largemouths and pickerel. The pond was a wild place. You had to park on a main road far away, walk through tick-laden tall grass, and past a crumbling farmhouse to reach the water. It took effort, but you were usually there alone, and the fishing was good. About 6 years ago, once again, thanks in part to the misuse of the property by the public, the county invested a pile of money into beautifying the land. Now there's paved roads, manicured trails, and ample parking. Someone even mows the tall grass so nobody gets a wood tick, and there's the yoga pants. Try as I might, I can't find a bass heavier than a pound in that pond anymore.
Well, only more anglers, they might be taking them out.
Well, yeah. People, I don't know.
More people,
more access, yeah. And the well-meaning intentions, So, going back, he continues on. He said, the other leg was chopped with lily pads and badly tilted in. To launch my kayak, I had to wade through waist-deep muck. But that place did fish. Here, too, there was trash everywhere on the shoreline. Worm tubs, beer bottles, tires, miles of discarded line. And as part of the access beautification efforts, the county dredged the lake and will soon build more pretty trails, create better parking, and increase access and use. In the interim, barely a trickle of water flows through it because it's been drawn down so low. This summer, any fish that survive the draining will likely boil to death. So it's just unfortunate. I think, we just have to be more conservation minded. I think that's really the key.
Well, if
We
they
have
don't want
to-
things to change, because then somebody will be like, hey, they're trashing this up, and the city will say, okay, well, we got to do something about it.
Yeah, because there's spots around here that we go to, and the county puts out trash cans along the roads and things like that. And I can't tell you how many times people do not actually make use of the trash cans, or even right there. So
Yeah, even like the difference between the state park and McFadden Beach is the trash.
trash. Yeah,
Just the trash.
yeah, we go to Searoom State Park a lot, and one of the reasons why we go there over McFadden is just because of the trash. And there's
On
just
the
too much
beach,
trash.
I mean, they put trash cans, but people don't want to walk up and throw them away. And it's just, it's a beach. Don't you want it to look pretty? Don't you want to enjoy it? And sometimes when things are free, and that's the only difference. You pay $3, you get in the state park, McFadden is free.
Yeah.
Sometimes when things are free, you get
Don't value.
people who don't care about the
Yeah.
trash.
A little bit more in the article here, and we have a question that came from the Discord server. It says, if you're a passionate angler, you know that some of the best places take a little effort to reach. In many cases, are marginal public access points where basically no one ever cared and bothered. You until too many bad eggs ruined it for everyone, usually trashing the place. Would the Utah landowners be upset if there's no trash being left on the river, or there's no trespassing signs not being turned down? Maybe. If wild bodies of water left unmanaged so long and hadn't become garbage dumps, would staying towns be as likely to turn them into Epcot? We won't know for sure. Anglers in the east and west should continue to fight for the public access that belongs to them, but we also need to realize there's a whole bunch of private spots that grant public access to small waters all over the country. These spots are the easiest to lose because of bad behavior. And this is what he wraps up with. And I like this conclusion. I'll read that to you. It says, I would like to think that most of you, like me, are stewards of the water. And that's a good way of thinking, stewardship, management. We want to manage the resources. We want to make sure that we're doing a good job. And there's a lot of important parts to managing the resources. And it's not just about trash. It's about even how much you take. And, I think there's a lot of mismanagement that's happening right now in the waterways. And then people complain about the limits changing and things like that. But again, it's just that we're not managing very well. You don't leave trash in the river. If you're approached by a landowner, you're respectful, even if they're not. None of us should ever forget that people who don't fish have more power and can operate with heavier strings than the anglers. So if you have that fishing spot you love, a place that still feels secret, take good care of it. And above all else, never take it for granted. So I think that was a good ending, and I think that's something that we can all learn from. Just say, hey, look, we need to be conscious stewards of this thing. And maybe somebody is out there not being responsible. Maybe they're trashing it. Maybe they're not doing what they should do. But if you see that going on, pick it up. You got to pick up to other people's slack sometimes, and that's part of our stewardship. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting article, and hopefully you enjoyed that as well, and maybe make you think a little bit differently about how you interact with the land around you. All right, we have Senor Mysterioso. Hey, welcome. No, don't worry about being late. You're on time, right? We're still going.
Yeah,
We're still going, so it's good.
you can catch up.
You can watch a live replay, or you can just start now. Well, you came in at just the right time. This is the transition time. I'm going to talk about a question that someone had, and so I'm going to bring that up here. If you are not part of this, I would definitely encourage you, or say, hey, go to our Discord channel. The Discord channel is going to be, there's a link in the description of this video. I don't know if I can put a link in the chat, but I'll try. If you are not part of the Discord server, you're definitely going to, oh yeah, I can do that. Hang on, let me copy that. Because there's a whole group over there that we can interact with, talk fishing stuff, talk things that are going on, and get questions. So here's the question, and this is going to be for a bunch of you that are in the chat. I know you're going to know the answer for this one. So let us know what you think. Here it goes. It says, and this is from Shifty 970. 1970? Oh yeah, Shifty 1970. Okay, so I'm taking the family to Padre Island. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. We like to go to Padre Island. I know a lot of you like to go to Padre Island. So yeah, we go a time or two every year, but I've never taken my rod and reel.
Oh, dear.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, "That's what are you even
Seriously,
doing?" Anyway,
Why are we even going?
why are we even doing this? I don't know. My kids were like, "We're going to the beach." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm always gonna have rods." I mean, that's just. Anyway, I've never done any honest saltwater fishing, so maybe you've done some dishonest saltwater fishing.
What does that mean?
So,
Party boat? Maybe
I've
jumps in
never
a
done
party boat.
honest saltwater
I don't
fishing,
know.
but I'd like to throw a line in the surf while we are out on the beach, which
So
is a
do we
great
all.
thing to do. I think it's a
Just don't
Right
catch your
thing.
kids.
Yeah, no, don't catch fish. It says I've got a good sized rod and reel. Honestly, don't really have a clue what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't do dishonest saltwater fishing.
I know.
I don't know, like dishonest saltwater fishing. In any case, he says I'll try and attach a picture I've been given by a friend. Any help? Sorry, I just talk kind of fast. Like that's true.
We stay right across from the bubble.
It said, attach a picture of my friend, but any help or advice is helpful. Just for reference, we stay right across from the old Bob Hall Pier. And he attaches this. I'm not really sure what you call this rig. It
I
looks
don't
like it's got
know.
a slide, a sinker slider.
A slider with
So
a
your main
weight.
line with a snap on it. That's a sinker slider. It's got a bead, then the swivel, leader line, and then your hook.
Did he
So
say he was beach fishing though? Where is his sandwich?
well, that's part of what we're gonna help this guy.
Okay.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta help this guy. Yeah, so it's basically we're going to modify, like this at Carolina rig is what he's using. Instead of using egg weights, they're using slide sinker with a pyramid sinker on there. So, what do y'all think? What should we tell him? How do we help him?
I mean, it's not that he can't catch a fish on that, but when you lose that line, it seems like more effort to tie all that on.
That's what I think. I think it's a lot
because you're
more
gonna-
than what it's worth.
You know, I usually lose at least a couple to some sharks
I mean-
or whatever, and have to retie. So it seems like more effort. That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, that's what depends if the rig will work. It's overcomplicated.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think it's overcomplicated. I've never had, to be honest with you, I have sinker slides. I just don't use them.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to hook all that back up when I lose them.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
I think a single drop. Now I hand tie mine, but a single drop or a double drop. Or you can, man, I would just tell if this guy was really new, I'd tell him go longer and get yourself some pompano rigs.
I mean, that's the easiest thing if you just want to catch.
pompano
You
rigs.
want to catch whiting or pompano at the right season.
Yeah.
You know, you can catch some small stuff on those.
Yeah.
You'll definitely catch some hard hits also. But
Yeah. I mean, this rig
if
will
you're
work.
going for something bigger, then, you know, just use a sand
Yeah.
weight.
And I do have, we do have videos on our channel about how to make single dropper or double drop. You can use any of those dropper lines.
Maybe this rig will work in Australia.
Australia.
You tell
Good
us.
morning from Australia. Ben, hey, thanks for joining us.
Wait,
Australia.
morning.
Well, yeah, I guess
How
so.
early in the morning would it be?
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's what time it is over there. It's
Is it like
interesting. I don't know.
6 o'clock?
I don't, it's going to be early. So here's my thing with this one. What I would tell him to do, sand weight will help you hold better on the bottom in waves, especially. Sand weights, if you don't know what they are, they're basically lead with prongs on them that will actually hand. I should have actually brought one for example, but they're going to have prongs in the back. It's going to help dig into the sand. It's going to help you hold bottom. You don't need them. You can use pyramid weights, but you're just not going to get it to hold as well. If you're dropping off here, you can use pyramid weights just fine. But when you're throwing from the beach, I find that sand weights do help a little bit more. Okay. Ben says,
Oh, the Discord.
Oh,
The
Discord. oh, this one link's not working. Yeah, that's going to be a Stanley Orchard question. If the Discord, we'll get it, the video link should be in there too. And WTF Mike, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us. That's how many bends going to be in one stream hole. I don't know. Maybe there's a Guinness Book of World Records for that. How many?
How many bends
in
in
a live stream?
I haven't tried that, but I don't
Senior
know.
Mysterio, so that would be okay from the end of Podwell with live date things, but it's nothing short. So, yeah, and that's right there. That's the
Here's the other thing is that if he's new at fishing, new at fishing, surf fishing, and he just wants to have a good time on the beach and he just wants to set it in the rod holder and wait for a fish to bite, then he might want a Stanway that's going to hold it so that he can actually see it go down and not just floating all over the place with all those swimmers. So he might want to just, kind of direct it in one area. That might be better. And he'd be able to feel the bite better, because I know that our kids do better with a stand weight than just a pyramid weight, just kind of floating around doing, oh, is that a bite? Oh, is that a bite? And they keep confusing the wave and the surf because there's so much movement in the ocean. So I know that if you're new at this is probably not the best one for you.
Yeah, and single drop rig or double drop with 2 or 3 ounce weights and small hooks, 2 or 3 ounce. I even use one on circle, not circle. I use kale. We're allowed to use kale here. Some places you can't use them, but that's where I use the kale hooks. But yeah, the small ones, live shrimp, fresh dead might be. You can use cut baits as well out there.
A live mullet would be really good if you're going for something bigger.
Yeah.
Cast yourself from live mullet.
You could put a live, we put a live mullet on it. But I would just say, to help this guy, I would say you're on the right track. You've got the right idea. You will likely catch something with that. But I would definitely simplify it. I wouldn't use a sinker slide. I would just use a dropper rig. Much easier to use and much easier to throw. One of your problems with using a sinker slide is going to be hard to throw, I really think. But that's just what I think.
He says there can only be one Ben. Is his name Ben?
There can only be one.
It's Senor Mysterio's first name Ben.
I don't know.
And he's the only one.
Well, he's mysterious. We don't know.
I know. We don't know.
I don't know.
What if his name is Ben Herman?
Oh, that'd be crazy. Anyway. Could be. All right. So this week we probably got a new video coming out.
We're going fishing?
Well, no, we have the catching for gaff top.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because a lot of people have said the gaff top are trash fish and they don't like eating them.
We eat them all the
time. But Karen has found a recipe, I'm telling you, that will blow you away. Like the first time she made it, I didn't even know what I was eating. Because it was good. It was good. And I was like, what is this? And so we're going to show you how to make that in the new video. Of course, you can use any fish that you want in the recipe, but we're going to use gaff tops just to show people that you can actually use gaff top in recipes, and it's okay because they are good.
I will say, rule of thumb for gaff top, same for redfish. When you get a redfish or a black drum that's like way over the limit, you get a redfish that's like over 42 inches. You get a black drum that's over 35. The meat just gets tougher.
Yeah.
So I found that the gaff top does cook better when you don't have one that's almost 6 pounds. Yeah. So we had one that was almost 6 pounds. We probably should have put it on the tournament board, but we'll catch another one for sure. But the 4-pound one was tasting better than the one with 6 pounds. So I will say, if you're catching them and they're almost 6 pounds, that one might be one to put back, just because it doesn't taste as good as the one that's like the 4 pounds.
Going back to the question about the first time Padre Island fishing, that is a good help there, Ben. Fish bites or fish gums for whiting. Yeah, I mean the fish bites.
The pink ones.
Yeah, we do the best with the shrimp flavors. You can do the sand flea as well.
They never work for me. I don't like the
the shrimp ones are the ones. The shrimp.
They have crab. They have all kinds of stuff, but I like the pink ones.
The pink ones work. Texas beach bum, slimy fish. Yes, they are slimy. But you know what? We catch them in surf. Because here they were huge in the surf, and I didn't get the slime. We didn't get the slime up the line problems that you get when you're like catching from a boat. Now, if I'm catching from a boat, for some reason, the slime goes all the way up the line.
True. But when I'm boat fishing, I'm really going for different kinds of fish. And if I catch a gaff carp, I don't always keep it because I'm trying to fill my cooler with reds and stuff.
Yes. No.
But if I'm surf fishing, I would fill the cooler with gaffers because, we just catch a bunch.
And maybe take a little bit more to clean when you are cleaning up the cooler. But I also bleed them. That also helps bleed them. All to say, we should have that video coming out this week. I'm thinking maybe depends on schedules and stuff like that. We'll see if that comes
Do
out.
we have the beach video of us catching the one?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah, it's already, that part of it's already made. We just haven't really on it.
we're having a little contest that day because we kept pulling them in left and right. Who has the biggest? And then I realized I should have put the biggest one back.
Well, lesson learned. So we got that. Make sure you check out our merch store down there. We are selling those popping corks, and they do work pretty well. And I hand make them at home. I'm actually got my 3D press up right here, and I make them, and it's all handmade. I've got a new one that's coming up. This was not available before. I think I'm gonna call it Texas Rattler.
Is this the ones you put in?
That's the beauty. But I've got a new model coming out that I was experimenting with, and that one was killer. I used it, and they were getting that before they were getting anything else. So I'm excited about that one as well. Hopefully you're having awesome plans this week. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with wherever you are, and you get out there and enjoy the outdoors and all that good stuff. And thank you for sitting through this. And we're going to continue to work on this live stream and see if we can I'll work on the audio. I'm going to go listen to it back and check on the audio. But thank you for, if you haven't liked the video or haven't liked the channel, haven't liked the video, haven't liked the show, whatever you can do, click the like button. That really does help us out. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I think that's going to do it for us. So until next time,
May the fish be with you.
y'all take care. And I'll bring up there we go.